Challenge, end of week 2. Just 2 more weeks to go, and I have a busy day today. I have my first sewing class with a good friend of mine who's actually teaching it, and we're making quilt blocks, and I'm a very beginner sewer. I've hand quilted. I've made lots of hand quilted baby quilts, things like that. I can sew simple pillows, but sewing is always something that I wish I was better at and I knew more. So never too late to learn, and maybe I'll learn how to make clothes for grandbabies instead of babies. Anyway, that is today, and it's all day. So I've gotten up early, which wasn't that hard because we lost power twice yesterday. Once in the morning for a couple hours, and then last night it just went out around 9:30. So we all went to bed early. So it ended up being a good thing because I needed to get up early today anyway. So because I'm going to be gone all day, I want to get a couple of things done, get my video done and uploaded for you for the Every Bit Counts challenge today. So a couple of simple things, but things that need to be done. First, I went out and I harvested a whole bunch, like I think I have a good 8 or 9 bundles of sage drying on that rack that I've shown you before. So I think that will be it for sage this year. I might get one more cutting, but we have a lot now, and it's not like I use a ton of it throughout the year, so we're good there. I have a lot of these potatoes left over from, I can't remember what I use these for. I feel like I did something with them, but anyway, I don't want them to go to waste. We're probably not going to eat them. We're trying to, I'm not doing keto or anything like that. We are making a more conscious effort to eat just more nutritiously. We're not going to beat ourselves up if we have a treat, and I think it's working because I am losing weight, and I just try to keep my carb load a little bit lower. But if I want bread, I'm going to eat bread. If I want potatoes, I'm going to eat potatoes. Anyway, I figure if we eat bread, if I make it, at least I know it's better for us. So anyway, that's a whole different video I'm going to be doing. So, all that to say, we probably won't be eating potatoes for at least a little bit. So what I'm going to do is what I did this last year, and we loved them. I froze up small packets of potatoes Obrien, and if you don't know what that is, that's just potatoes, onions, and peppers. And that was delicious. We would take them out, thaw them out a little bit, and then fry them up in the cast iron pan, or even put them in the oven with a little bit of oil or butter and salt, and they were so good. I did not make enough last year, so I'm going to definitely do more of that this year, and I just use my vacuum sealer and seal them all up. So first is what we're going to do is we're just going to parboil these. We don't want them cooked all the way. We want them till they're just tender, and then I'll drain them and let them dry up. Now, I don't have any peppers ready. I really was hoping I'd have some peppers, but I've frozen a lot of peppers that I managed to pick up from really good deals from either our local farmers or our grocery stores have a lot of local produce in right now. So I did freeze already, so I kind of have them ready. When we go to make this, I'll just add some of the peppers that are already frozen, but I'm hoping when my peppers start becoming ready, I can make up some. So today we're just going to do potatoes and onions because I still have onions left over from the beef stew. That's what I use the potatoes for, and the onions. So I have an onion here I'm going to chop up while these are parboiling, and then like I said, we'll get them drained and dried up a bit, and then I'm going to seal them in my vacuum sealer. So we're going to get these going, and then I have one more thing I want to get going today. small batch of potatoes. I'm only going to use half the onion, but it's not going to go to waste. The scraps and the other half the onion I will put in my little bag here, and I use this to make broths. So, all my scraps. So, okay, on to the next thing. So the next thing I want to get done is rose facial toner. So you're going to need some unscented plain witch hazel. I found this in my closet, or I would be using the homemade witch hazel that I did, gosh, a few months ago, and I can link that up here in a card or at the end of this video when I made it. But I need to use this up, so we're going to use this. So whether it's homemade or the stuff you buy, make sure it's unscented. And you're just going to need rose petals. You can use dehydrated rose petals. You can use fresh. I've been drying rose petals for a while, so I'm actually going to make two kinds. I'm going to make a yellow and a red. Actually, I'm not going to make a yellow toner. That's going to be rose oil, the yellow. So I'm going to do that separate. But first we'll do, this is a mix of red and pink roses from my own yard. So you want to make sure you're using roses that you know haven't been sprayed with anything. And rose toner is not, it's great for sunburns. If you get sunburn, this really helps. It takes the redness and stuff out of your face, which is great for winter. I love it, and I'm just about out of all of the stuff I made last year, so it's perfect timing. I like to take just a little cotton swab or reusable cotton scrubby. I make them. That's why I have reusable ones. And just put it on my face before I go to bed at night, and it's great. And we're just going to fill that up. Got a lot of bubbles there, so that's not toner. And we're just about there. And we're just going to let this sit, you guessed it, in a dark place for a couple of weeks, and it will actually turn a beautiful pink color. It turns such a pretty, pretty color. So there's one thing down. So the other thing is I have to go get my sunflower oil, and I'm going to make rose oil. And I'm hoping to be using this maybe going forward into my new adventure of soaps, making soaps and lotions. I've made lotion before, but I want to get into it a little bit more. And I'm going to be trying soap making, something I've been wanting to do forever. So I'm going to be doing that. So I'm going to dry this out a little bit because I just washed them because I just bought these. And check on my potatoes because they're boiling, and I'll be right back. I strained my potatoes. They were just fork tender. And now we're going to make some yellow rose oil. I've never used the yellow petals before. This is the first year my yellow rose actually was successful. I put some work into it trying to make her grow nicer, and it looks like it's paying off. And that is mullein, so we're not going to put that in. And I'm using sunflower oil again because of the vitamin E for skin. And but you can use any oil, any, because I know a couple of you said you're allergic to vitamin E, so absolutely use olive oil or jojoba oil or any of the other oils, grapeseed oil. Okay, so we've got rose oil started, and we've got rose toner started, and see, I can already see I need to top that off as it's settling. And I'll check on it again in a couple of days and see if it needs topping off. And I'm going to get those potatoes dried up. We'll get those bagged, and that'll be the end of day 14. Okay, so I took the potatoes out, put them in really, really cold water to cool them down quicker, and then I've dried them really well, and I've just mixed them with the onions. And I think we're going to do 3 of the vacuum seal bags. These are quart size bags. Actually, I'm wondering, maybe I should, you know what, I'm just gonna, maybe we'll just get 2. Because that's probably about a serving right there for David and I when I do our breakfast in the mornings with eggs and stuff. So we're gonna do 2. That's 2 more I didn't have. the freezer. Plus my rose oil started and my rose toner started. And that ends day 14. Now I have to go make my lunch and get ready to go to my sewing lesson. Wish me luck. And we'll see you back here tomorrow for day 15, the start of week 3.